Hello everyone, this is Crytex Tech here. So there was an Apple event yesterday and they just announced the 14-inch MacBook Pro and the 16-inch MacBook Pro. I was waiting for them for such a long time and they finally got here. Now they are offering 3.7 times faster CPU, 13 times faster GPU and 11 times faster machine learning, which is just insane, with 21 hours of battery backup for the 16-inch and the 17 hours of battery backup for 14-inch. Now there are two new chips introduced in this MacBook. The M1 Pro and the M1 Max. Both are beast. M1 Pro comes with an 11-core CPU and 16-core GPU with 32 GB of unified memory and 200 GB bandwidth of memory. And the M1 Max comes with staggering 10-core CPU but 32-core GPU and 64 GB of unified memory. And it also has 400 gigabytes bandwidth of memory. Now, the M1 was pretty fast, and comparing these chips with the M1, the surface area on these chips are plain bigger than the M1. And the M1 Max is just massive. M1 Pro has really great CPU and GPU jump with the graphics performance, but also maintaining the power usage. The M1 Max was even more faster and is expected to perform much better than the M1 and the M1 Pro. Now the charts that Apple provided were great and the processing happening in this machine is going off the charts, as the M1 Max can support three 6K HDR displays and 4K display, which is just out of this world, and with the CPU rendering speed of 9.2x for M1 Pro and 13.4 times for the M1 Max. They also have insane read and write speed of 7.4 Gbps per second. These are just going to flood out the sales for the MacBook for these professional users. They are both getting two fans for cooling on both sides, both the 14 as well as the 16 inches, compared with just one fan that was available in MacBook 13 inches. The keyboard was also updated with the better keys and they got rid of the touch bar, but has the Touch ID built in the keyboard and has the back casing, as you can see. Now the MacBook Pro finally gets the XDR display that was available in iPad Pro 12.9 inches. And this mini LED is going to give us brightness of up to 1000 nits and peak brightness of 1600 nits. This is just a crazy jump from the previous Pros, but it comes with the notch at the top, which should have been removed with the hole punch, but I think the dark mode will solve the problem with the notch, as it won't be noticeable in the software. This also comes with ProMotion, which can go from 24Hz to 120Hz, which will make everything appear so smooth and making the best display in such a portable machine. Also giving studio mics with 6 stereo speakers, so the media consumption on this device is going to be great if you are planning to buy the MacBook Pros, both 16 as well as 14 inches, which will be even better for editing videos, photos and much more. The cameras also get a bump up to 1080p, which is still mediocre and can be improved further, but with the machine learning, it can improve the image processing. Both the MacBooks have 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports, HDMI port, an SD card slot and MagSafe 3 port. Now MagSafe 3 is really old tech and it is good to have it here. Now everyone knows that this MacBook Pros are going to get a price jump from the previous ones, and you should be aware of that. And the baseline MacBook Pro comes with 8-core CPU, 14-core GPU, which is 2 less cores from the CPU and the GPU. And this comes around 3000 Australian dollars. If you are a professional user, you should buy the baseline MacBook, and if you have a bit more budget, just upgrade according to your workflow. I'm getting 14-inch MacBook Pro with 10-core CPU and 14-core GPU, and with 16-core neural engine. This will improve my workflow as I am using this 15-inch MacBook Pro from 2015, which is a 6-year-old machine, and it is a perfect time for me to upgrade. The 14-inch model will be the best upgrade to get, as the additional thickness might be too much for the 16-inch. Even the price difference between these two is much higher. Now, even if you're planning to go for the 16-inch model, which is a great price to begin with. Now, if you want to go for the maxed out 16-inch model, it will cost you around 9,200 Australian dollars, which will give you 64 GB of RAM and 8 TB of internal storage, which is just crazy. Well, that's been it for this event. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.